James Kaufman, World News Report today, January 13th, 2025. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Destantis calls special session of Florida legislature to enforce Trump mass deportations. We have videos, folks. Round them up, ladies and gentlemen. May the fun start very soon. Florida Governor Ron Desantis, Republican, is making sure that the state is prepared to enforce President Donald Trump's America First agenda on day one of the new administration. DeSantis has called for a special session of the legislature to require local governments across the state to enforce President Trump's deportation plans, as in mass deportation. During their remarks to the press, DeSantis stated, quote, "We have a responsibility to be in this fight. State and local officials in Florida must help the Trump administration enforce our nation's immigration law." Ladies, this is going to get dangerous here for about 90 days. Y'all stay at home. He continued, "We're going to need legislation to impose additional duties and provide funding for those local officials that are needed in this movement." So, ladies and gentlemen,
have a responsibility to be in this fight. State and local officials in Florida must help the Trump administration enforce our nation's immigration laws. And we are going to need, in order to do that effectively, we are going to need legislation to impose additional duties on local officials and provide funding for those local officials. There also needs to be measures to hold people accountable who are violating our anti-sanctuary policies, and then Florida needs to make sure that we don't have any lingering incentives for people to come into our state illegally. So therefore, I'm going to call the legislature into special session starting the week of January 27th. We have the next president taking office January 20th. We anticipate executive orders to be issued immediately after the swearing in and the inaugural address. We're going to have some time to process to make sure we're doing what we need to do, but then we need to act, and we need to act quickly. We don't have time to waste. The American people spoke very clearly of all the issues out there, and there were a lot of very important issues. This issue of the border and illegal immigration was one of the top issues in the 2024 election, and has been one of the top issues that we've had in this country
for many years. Get ready. I would deport myself so I could take some stuff with me. This is going to be crazy. And please don't tell me I have audio issues. Florida's Voice is the one with the audio issues. I can only make it as good as the source. Let's see.
That immigrants make up. Yes, we have legal immigrants in Florida. So you can't conflate illegal immigrants with people who are here legally. Now, I've also said we've got some big problems with some of the legal immigration programs that we have. I mean, we've seen this H-1B program, how companies will bring in H-1B, the Americans train the H-1B, and then they fire the Americans and hire the H-1B. How would that even remotely be acceptable? You have chain migration, which is not merit-based and is bringing in more distant relatives. Not what you want. So there's a whole host of issues there that need major reform, but from an
we also have student visas. Students all over the world study here and never leave.
Immigration enforcement perspective, I mean, if somebody is here on like an H-2A visa, they are working in the state of Florida legally. And when we did E-Verify, people would say, we had E-Verify an act, they'd say, hey, there's a busload of farm workers. I saw them on I-4. And people assume they're illegal. And then FDLE looks, they all have the H-2A visas.
Now, it sounds like places like Texas and Florida are much more prepared for what's about to go down. It sounds like DeSantis is going to take everyone out that's not legal, which I think every state should do, period. Even the dreamers are illegal still, are they not? Please share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world.